Boom, boom. Get it, Cole? Hmm. Hmm. Hey,
All right, Shannon.
get it? Hmm. Oh, welcome to this side of the. Oh,
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 vibes got loud. Okay, let's go.
we were bringing it down and vibes got loud, right? That's crazy. First time for everything. Welcome to the side of the camera, Co. You're always with us. I'm excited for you to be on and as a co-host today.
Well, welcome. I'm happy to see everybody and be
Yes.
back with you guys. What you been up to, man?
Yes. Ooh, transitioning and taking the pause. Went to the spa yesterday and
Hmm, okay,
one breath at a time. What
okay.
about you?
Girl, I'm still technically working, doing these professional developments, but I
Yes.
have a lot of things in mind to relax after this.
Good. Oh, okay. I'm excited to talk about that. And I know you have a good list. You're so intentional about your time. I love seeing you taking trips, going to museums, sharing your experiences, your
Mm,
reels. I enjoy your social media. I love all of it. Your social media, your blog. I appreciate the work that you do.
thank you. Same here.
Thank you so much. Okay, y'all, so let's jump in. Hey, y'all, I am Shannon Mitchell, a Black millennial entrepreneur and Amazon best-selling publisher, author, and all-natural product manufacturer. I'm a champion for your natural self-care, sustainable business care, and overall intentional wellness. And as you see or hear if you are listening, today we have a co-host, a new guest co-host, Life Coach Co. If you've been following our work with Women Connected in Wisdom, you know and love her, right? She is one of our Amazon best-selling authors, not only once, but twice. She is also an elementary school teacher by day and again a writer and podcaster by night. She is a native of Louisiana and currently resides in Metro Atlanta. Life Coach Co is a graduate of the historically Black University, Southern University and A&M College, and Christian institution, Laterno. Did I say that right? University?
Let's turn
Thank
on
you so
universe.
much.
Hmm.
Obtaining both her bachelor's and master's degree in psychology in 2012 and 2018. Thank you so much for joining us, Co.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, yes. So today, y'all, we're talking about social wellness. And for me, Co has been one of those people. We talked about it with Dr. Joe Veazey last week. Joe Ventrice, Tolliver Russell was on as our guest co-host. And you ladies specifically have been amazing for me and Christine through this season. And I'm so grateful to have you in my social circle for my social support as we publish Amazon bestsellers and do hundreds of episodes of podcasts. When they say, "Oh, how do you do it?" I think about God, a list of things, and of course, you ladies are part of that list that help make it sustainable.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it takes a village, as they talk about it taking a village to raise kids. It takes a village to be an entrepreneur. Do we
Mm,
talk about it? Like, I know they're like, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this yourself.
yeah.
And there are a lot of things that you have to do yourself, but at the same time, it's like, who you going to lean on for support? Who's going to have those conversations with you when you're like fed up and you don't want to do this anymore? Or who's going to keep encouraging you to get things done? Or who's
Yeah.
going to actually step in and take that load off of you for a second and grab something for you? Like, who's going to
Mm.
do that? So it's really important for you to have a great social circle, and I appreciate being a part of yours and you being a part of mine.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it's a real thing, now I'm asking questions like, okay, who's your friend enough to be on your life insurance policy? Like who do you trust enough with house keys and stuff like that?
Mm, good
Who
question.
who is around you? Yeah. So y'all, we like to know that we're on the same page, right? So let's read this definition, and Coach Co and I will talk a little bit, and then we will introduce you to our amazing guests. So, social wellness is about the ability to nurture ourselves, others, and our relationships with healthy boundaries. It includes balancing the other seven dimensions of wellness and actively participating as an interdependent being in the web of life. So, when you hear that, what stands out to you this week, Coach Cole?
Balance.
Mm. And we
Balancing the other dimensions of wellness.
so say more about what you think about.
I think that sometimes that we can fall on the extreme ends of the spectrum on
Mhm,
either side. We could either be too social, where we're not doing the things that we need to be doing, like writing the book, studying, doing all of the things that needs to be done to get to the next project or to push out the project that we're supposed to be working on.
mhm,
Or we could be on the other end of the spectrum, not being supportive in our social circle. So I think that balance is the key, to not be overly supportive in a way that your cup is, empty and you
mhm,
don't have anything to pour out. And you also not getting the things done that you need to get done in your own life, or just being totally absent because you're either working too much or putting all of your effort into one social relationship,
mhm.
or just really caught up in self to the point where nobody else matters.
Yeah. And for me, what comes up when you say that is not even like, I think I do a good job at not getting caught up in myself, but those periods of time when it's difficult, things are going on. Like when my mom passed away, I almost completely pulled away from everybody. I was like over talking, repeating myself, conversations, like it's all right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think with emotional and mental wellness and spiritual wellness, you got to be careful with isolation, you know? It's
Mm-hmm.
important in some seasons. Sometimes you should, not pour energy in different things, and things need to stop or be paused. And that was part of that season too, you know? And I did those things, but I also kept certain social support and was intentional about the balance that was required in that season, so I didn't go into an unhealthy isolation for too
Mm-hmm.
long or any, you know, like those were the things I was watching in that season. So that's what comes up when you say that. That makes sense though.
Mm-hmm. And
Mhm.
yeah, like, just being intentional, like about not isolating,
Mhm.
but also being intentional about when it's time to step away,
Yeah.
because being stepping away is not the same thing as isolating.
Mhm.
Sometimes you need to take a step back and you need to take inventory. Hey, I'm pouring out a lot. I'm doing a lot, trying to show up to this social event, this event, this thing right here, trying to be supportive to everybody that's grieving, trying to
Mhm.
do this and do that to everything. And I know that there's so many different people that are grieving right now. So I definitely want to make that note that, you guys are in my thoughts and prayers right now with the grieving process. I am
Yes.
being intentional about praying for you and
Mhm.
remembering that. But also, just in those seasons, it's just very hard to navigate um, doing too much and doing too little.
Mm. Okay. For me, I think about I guess like a real world application of what I wrote about in volume two, right? Like, how do you maximize your capacity? And that can be difficult sometimes, like we're talking about, to find the balance of it. For me, we're talking about communicating, right? So, social wellness, and I'm showing up for my friends. I'm showing up to the weddings, the engagement parties, the baby showers, the birthday parties, the this, the that, all the things, right? Going away parties, all the things. But part of it is my plan too, right? If we're talking about entrepreneurship and what we need for ourselves, it's not just this person's schedule that they're making for me, it's the schedule I made for myself and what I put on my list too. So if
Mm-hmm.
me celebrating and being there for other people is making it so that my marketing doesn't get done. Okay, for this example, if me reading Coach Co's co-mail every Monday is on my list, but my Shaylo Glow Glow Club does not get an email, that's a flag. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it might be something to know. I'm not judging myself. It's important to notice. But as far as balance and making sure that I have what I need for my businesses, I should not be reading 52 emails and I haven't sent out an email that year. You know what I mean? And every week I'm
Yeah,
reading her email. And so that's kind of how I balance the time.
I like
And what
that.
and what I've seen is that I may not have that much time for social time this month. I might need to put a friend out 2 months. And I actually put a friend out to March. And guess what? We still haven't had our friend time because stuff keeps happening and things have shifted. But you just got to ebb and flow with it and stay in communication, even if that's a text message instead of a phone call or in person cabana and on vacation. You know what I mean? And we do what we can. But I would love to bring our guest into this conversation because she has a
Mm-hmm.
business that helps people show up their best. And this is we're talking about gloss, glam, and social wellness. And this is how we show up when we show up popping for our friends and for ourselves. But let's have a full conversation. What do you think?
Yeah, let's
and
go.
and not saying that it wasn't a full conversation with you and I, but you know what I mean. We're going to bring up our guests and keep on talking.
Let's go.
Okay, so this is the owner of Gloss by Nay, and I'm gonna pull up. And actually, yes, we don't have her name in this bio, and I don't want to mispronounce your name, Nay. So I'm going to tell them this is the owner of Gloss by Nay, Nay, right? And she is a 23-year-old entrepreneur who started an all-natural skincare business, again, Gloss by Nay, while attending college. She's had recent success, has been grinding and working for a long time, and so we're looking forward to hearing more of her story. Help us welcome to the stage, Nay.
Hey guys, how y'all
Hey,
doing?
hey, Nay,
Hey,
amazing.
welcome.
Welcome to Women Connected in Wisdom.
Thank you. So, did you want me to start by telling you guys how to pronounce my name?
Yes, yes. Tell us how to pronounce your name, your
All right.
preferred name, so we know who's all at the table.
So my name is Nevadia, and I just go by name just so everybody can kind of pronounce my name because I know sometimes people have difficulty with that.
So, what do you prefer? Do you prefer Nevadia?
I do prefer Nevadia, but I
I
just
love it.
say I just say Nay, just to keep it short with people.
We're going with Nevadia for the
Okay, we're gonna do
I
podcast
like
Nevadia.
show.
it, Nevadia. Let's
Yeah,
go. It
come on,
sounds
Nevadia.
official.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to the table.
Hi.
Hey.
So I was listening to everything that you guys were saying, and I believe that everything that you guys were saying was so spot on, even in
Mhm.
relation to personally what I'm going through. So I did kind of want to add my input.
Chime in.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
I like what Coach said about balance because I feel like being balanced is so important. And I want to add to that by saying like knowing how to show up, knowing how to balance when to show up, if that makes
Mm,
sense.
It does make
So
sense.
I'm saying that like, okay, we're basically being able to prioritize what's at the top of our priority list and then what's down here and then how to show up in those different ways. Regardless of if we're in like a difficult season. I think in our most difficult seasons, I think that's when it's most important for us to show up. Cause that's when we it might not seem like we're going to achieve that level of success, but I think that's when God is like, hey, is she showing up when it's hard for her? Is she pushing through all the hurdles and obstacles that I'm giving her? So I think that it's super important to be balanced and then just knowing that I might be going through this tough season, but everything will work out. And I think that's why it's important for us to have faith because faith is basically being able to not be able to see what's coming or seeing what's at the end of the cave, but knowing that there's a blessing at the end of that cave. So, yeah.
mm-hmm.
I love that. And when we talk about social wellness and we've all asked this question, right? Whether it's in conversations between ourselves about, am I talking too much? Is my input too much? Should I use my voice here? But what I love is that God uses everything for our benefit. So I know that even if it's a difficult situation, right? Even if I feel like I'm in a cave, I know that I'm surrounded also by things that are good for me and working for my good, and that it's going to be okay at the end of it. Um, and what you said, and again, we've been talking about balance, reminds me of our conversation on the podcast last week about adrenal overload. And, we're working, we got the adrenaline pumping, and we're doing this and that for our team or our students and the environment that we're in. For me, it's about, and this is just to get more specific in what we're saying already, right? Knowing when to keep going, knowing when it's a difficulty that we need to push through. And okay, this is you growing your endurance. This is you growing this muscle in this area. You need to be able to do this on a bigger scale. This is not where you stop, right? This is where Kobe is talking about not stopping in the middle, stop at the end. But it's also the balance of there's always going to be a lot to do. If your body is telling you, if your spirit is telling you, I need a break right now, then
Mm.
this is where you maybe stop abruptly. Stop, do not pass go, do not do anything else. Like yesterday I had stuff to do, but first, because I had already done so much, go to the spa first. Stop putting anything else before this. And the spa wasn't too restful. They was in here talking and stuff, y'all. This supposed to be a quiet room.
That
I went
me
I
with
went to the
them.
quieter room. They were still talking. I said, "Okay." I said
Mm-mm.
something at the front desk. I said, "Can we?" They suggested somewhere else. I said, "Wow." But after the rest, I did. It's not more rest now. Okay, let's go continue to take care of our responsibilities, and we'll look forward to a better experience next time. And I still felt like I got what I came to get. You know what I mean? Which was
Mm.
beautiful. But it's again the balance of both of those because I just used to keep going. How do you ladies feel like you're doing with the balance of it?
Mm.
Okay. Okay, 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 okay.
I'm not gonna even. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I feel like I have some seasons where I got it all together, and then I
Yeah,
have the seasons where, woo,
yeah,
like you need to slow down. And I love how you just said, like, just knowing how to balance even the rest aspect of everything, because we need that time to be able to rejuvenate and rest and get our mindset back together. And sometimes if we don't slow down, it's going to be things that happen to us that force us to slow down and probably even
yes,
cause us to burn out.
yes,
So I think it's important for us to, like, set aside that time to cater to ourselves, because
mhm,
that's part of our wellness. Being
yeah,
able to cater to us and give ourselves that love, because we're giving it to everybody else, but you can't keep continue to give it if you don't have anything to give.
right.
So
Mm. Mm.
So, let's talk about giving and, where you are right now, Nay, because this bio doesn't show the reason for, let's say, I don't feel like it gives enough meat for why I'm excited for everything that you do, everything that you're doing right now, right? Why people are loving your products and loving being connected and supporting your business. And I think that this is where, when we talk about social wellness and the emotional and mental well being of the people who are having what we see as success and things like that, it can be difficult to know when to support them because the Grammy seems great and you don't know that working the Grammys is stressful. Winning a Grammy might be stressful, and you think it's supposed to be this huge day and everybody's happy and they look great, so they feel great. But that's not always the case, right? If you're in that moment, that's also when you're at the peak of your performance and your output. So it might be a season of imbalance because now you have all of these opportunities that you are taking advantage of. And sometimes it's appropriate to be out of balance in that place for the longevity of it. But I would love for you to talk about everything that you have been going on with how your sales have grown as an entrepreneur in the industry that you're in right now.
okay, so I just started about, like, kind of what I do at Gloss by Name. So my main purpose for even starting my business is basically promoting natural beauty through skincare. Like, I just want people to be able to know, like, you can be who you are without any makeup, because I don't all I got is like eyebrows and lip gloss on right now, but you can be who you are, and still be beautiful. So I think that's my thing. And through my page, I really like to post, like, transparency. I know that just the age that we're moving in with social media, I know it's not really the thing to be transparent, but that's just the type of person I am. I love transparency. I love being open and honest and real with either my followers or the people who are shopping with me, because I just think that it shows that we're not perfect.
Right.
So I would say I'm actually getting ready to be 5 years in business in 2 weeks. So
Hey.
June the 16th will be my 5th year. So we're prepping for that now, and we're getting ready to do a shoot in the whole nine and everything. And I would say like last year and this year have been pivotal for me because I've been learning a lot. I've been learning how to build a team, and with the TikTok, that's where my business has blown up tremendously. Like since I talked to you, I
Yeah.
think since I've talked to you, we've gotten 60,000 orders. Just
Congratulations.
just like we started in September with the TikTok shop, and since there
Mhm.
we've gotten like 63 thousand orders.
Let's
Um,
go.
in just in a short period of time, and I felt like for a long time, just I guess this is just me being vulnerable with you guys. Like I felt for a long time, I was like, the way that I do my business is not traditional. It's not how everybody else does it. And I used to be in a position where I used to wonder like, why am I well, why am I not seeing the results I want to see? I see everybody else doing it this way. Everybody, so even people, I've seen people even lie within their business to try to get sales. And I was just like, well, I could easily do that, but that's just not who I am. And I'm just like, well, why is my business not growing the way that I want it to grow? And just out of nowhere, it just blew up. So that just showed me like sometimes it may take us a couple years to get where we want to be in our business, but we have to continue to stay true to ourselves. So if my vision was to promote that natural beauty through natural skincare, then I stay on that track no matter how long it takes, because that's what's for me.
Yes, Nevadia, come on. Now, we need a moment of silence. For the 5 years, 95% of businesses don't get there. Hold on, hold on. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Okay, hold on. I want to lift up this comment and then I'm gonna give you some flowers. Okay, so Jessica, hey Jessica.
Hey,
She
Jesse
said,
Wissy.
right, she
Jessica.
said, this is good. I love y'all. Love you too. In
Thank
this
you.
conversation, so much wisdom and much needed for your girl. Yes,
Yeah.
Jessica,
Thank
we're here for you. So, one, again, 95% is percent of businesses shut down in the first 5 years, right? And as I reach my 4 year for Shayla Glow, which is my oldest incorporated business, right? I'm like, oh, I get it. I get why people stop. I like, I get it. I get it, right? And then guess what
Stops
else?
a day,
What?
okay?
You see what I'm saying? And guess what else I said, Nevadia? I said I know experts, right? Like Coach Cole, and she wrote a chapter. You know what her chapter was on, Avadia?
What?
Finances, right? Going back to basics, and how as an entrepreneur in Atlanta, you needed to have realistic expectations. And then here I go, leaving my job and having 6 months savings, and all this stuff happened. And I get to the end of it, I said, wait, this is what Coach Co was talking about. I literally published the book and could have been more prepared. Still could have done more due diligence, right? And it's okay. Things happen the way they happen.
And you
And
did fine. You did well.
thank
Don't give yourself
That's where you give yourself grace.
thank
because
you.
you did
Yep.
well. Like
Did very
what
good.
did you tell me? Sometimes you have to what pivot.
Yep, you gotta
Not
pivot.
backpedaling. We
Yep.
pivoting.
Oh, pivoting, and we're not never backwards, right? So God uses everything, and these are the parts where again you could stop, but this is where you keep going because it's building that endurance, it's building the wisdom and the experience that people have when they get at 5 years, 25 years, the commas, all of the teams, all the things that we're talking about. These are the things that you have to go through, right? Um, and again, still did great. I had 6 months and was uh working for myself, what, over 12, I think it was 15 months. So we did pretty good. You know what I mean?
Come on, let's
Um,
give her a clap.
yes, thank you. Thank you. Good clap
Yes,
for myself.
because Shannon.
Yes.
I mean, guess what?
What?
Who quit? Who quit?
Right.
Me. I quit.
Mm.
So photography, I quit. I was done. Nah, I
But
quit.
but you back.
I'm back now, but I quit. So
I
that
hear
was the
you.
transparency moment
Yeah.
in why I wrote the chapter, which it's in volume 2. It all started with $10. I
Yeah.
wrote the chapter because having those realistic expectations in Atlanta was not the way to go about how I started my photography business, and it didn't work out. And so I had to go back to the basics. And now, like you said, God uses everything. So some kind of way I went from being a photographer to being in retail to being a teacher. Don't know how I got there. It's all divine. So, and then it's like now I see where some of the things align and how things kind of come together. And then it's like, okay, so how this new business, because there's a new business, how does this new business pivot, and how can we make realistic expectations, not and let's not confuse realistic expectations with putting God in a box. I'm not putting
Mhm.
God in a box, and I'm not
Right.
putting what God can do to me and for me in a box.
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
I'm saying is that I don't have to try to make God out to be a genie or a
Mhm.
magician or anything like that by just saying, all right, God, I'm about to quit with nothing, no savings, no nothing, and I'm about to let you do your thug dizzle.
Right.
That's not that's not biblical, okay?
Right.
So we want to have the realistic expectations and match that with God's promises, and
Yeah.
then be like, God, show me the next step. I'm here, I'm waiting, and I'm willing. Show me the next step and show me how I get there without trying to look at how Nevadia is doing it, how Shannon is doing it,
Mhm.
how all of these people are doing it, whether they're doing it your way or they're not doing it your way. And how do I take steps and follow my race and do what I need to do with the community that you've provided me with and the people that you're going to continue to bless me with along the way?
Yes. So, Navadia, I want to circle that back to where you were, right? Because when you started this, you're in college, right? And that's two things that a lot of people are nervous about, right? Starting businesses, going to college. We're talking about the balance of everything that you have going on. And it sounds like when you go, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
when you're on, you are on. So, what was that like for you to start your business at that moment in your
I'm
life?
not gonna lie to you guys, that was like one of the hardest things that I experienced. It was a testing, it was a testing season. So I went to Valdosta State and I got my degree in biology in 2021, December of 2021. And I could just say like my journey there, it started off okay. I started learning that in that season, like I would say for me, like I didn't really grow up in church or whatnot, so I didn't really start building my relationship with God until, like, I knew about God, but I just didn't start building my relationship with God until I came into college, because I was like, in order to finish this, I'm gonna need something. I'm gonna need some type of faith or something to get through this. And I just realized the deeper that I got into connection with God, the more I realized that I had a calling on my life in order to like inspire people, motivate people, and do something bigger. So in my process of being in college, y'all, I was doing my business. I was working a job, a work study job. I was walking to work.
Works.
Walking to work a couple of times a week. After I get off work, I would go to the library and study until the library closed. The library would close maybe at like 12 a.m. Sometimes it would be 24 hours and you could go downstairs. So I would stay there until I'm finished studying. Then I would go to class and repeat it every day. Every day. And I remember one day I had went to work, and I don't know if y'all ever been to work and y'all had somebody that micromanage y'all. Micromanage. I had this lady, she would micromanage me, and just one day I just got tired of it, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. They're paying me pennies, and I was just like, I believe in my business, and I quit. I have not worked a job since 2020. The last time I worked for somebody was in 2020, and I was just like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. And I was just like, if I do this, I'm gonna have to go hard for my business.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. It was a lot of sacrifice, like the typical things that you would do as a college student, like partying and doing different things. I couldn't do that because I just
Mhm.
it was just a lot. And we'll probably get into detail on it, maybe like if we just talk privately. But
Yeah.
I would just say I think that was like one of the best decisions that I made. But it was just like along the way, it was so many people telling me like, don't do it. Why would you quit? Like, and I just knew it was time for me to go. And
Mm.
ever since then, like I would say I've grown so much because I've been able to meet so many, not only just great people, but people who have inspired me, people who have sown seeds into me. Um, people who have, supported me, like the college town that I was in. I think it was vital for me to go to Valdosta to see, to just build that foundation of um being an entrepreneur and learning what it takes to like be one of those people who, because at first I wasn't social media, but I was somebody who had to get out. Like I was passing out business cards, taping my posters around campus in the bathroom. People would be like, "Girl, I seen your poster in the bathroom." Yeah,
Mhm.
like you're gonna see me when you're using the bathroom. I don't want y'all to forget about me. But
Mhm.
like when I tell you, when I made that decision, I was doing everything in my power to make sure that people were seeing my business and they knew what I sold. So I think that just really taught me how to try to make something out of the little resources that I had in that time period and just taking advantage of everything around me. And I could really say, like, coming to Atlanta, like you guys were saying, like coming to Atlanta versus being in a town that's smaller and not so oversaturated is it's way different. Like coming to Atlanta, because I've been here for like, I mean, I've lived here my whole life, but I
Mhm.
went to college, but like just coming back here and just seeing how oversaturated it is, it's a different playing field here. It's different because it's just like so many people in the same industry as you, and you just have to figure out a way to be able to stick out and show people, okay, even though I
Mhm.
sell this,
Mhm.
I stick out because I do this within my business. So it's
Yeah.
just, even now, like it's still a difficult process. Like even like last year, like going to pop-ups in the summer, I wouldn't say it was discouraging, but it was just a humbling experience knowing where I came from and where I'm at now, and knowing that I have
Mhm.
to rebuild my face card here versus when I had already spent like 2 years building my face card in Valdosta. So it was just like I have to restart.
Yeah.
A question for you.
Mhm.
So, in that process, I know you talked about your community, and inspiration and stuff. Like for people that are entrepreneurs that are trying, that may be feeling discouraged, or maybe wondering what it looks like to have a good community and social circle for the entrepreneur. Can you speak to that? Like, what did you need and what did you receive that changed the game for you as an entrepreneur from your social circle and your friends?
Okay, so I would say, that's a great question. That is a really good question. I would say I think I did, like I needed the support. I needed to feel that, I mean, I wouldn't even call it validation, but I would just say like just having those people around me just showing me that what I'm doing is making an impact. It encouraged me, because that's what encourages me now, just knowing that I'm here, like I'm making an impact, I'm inspiring people, and just seeing, because I don't know, sometimes I don't know if you guys have had this, like just like what am I doing this for?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
even today was just a reminder from Shannon. Like when she came in and she just told us, she was just like, even with you ladies, like you guys inspire me. You guys have been inspiring me. Like just to see that, it's a push, because it just reminds me that this is bigger than myself.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that really like quite
So
answers
would that be can put under words of affirmation? Like you
the
need your
Mhm.
friends to not. It's not a constant thing, but that every now and then you need that reminder. Like
Mhm.
but you dope. You got this. You doing
yeah,
this, man. Like I
Mhm.
see you. Like you. No, I really see you. Like this lipstick is popping. Like
Yeah.
this is. It's like I need this for my lips. Like and
Yeah.
really believe in your product. If I believe in your product, then I'm gonna sell for you.
Yeah.
So you need people in your circle so to believe in you and believe in what you're doing. If they don't believe, if you can't make them believers, then you might not feel like you can make the world believers. Is that something that you can attest to?
yeah, I could kind of say that in a sense.
What I hear you saying, Nevadia, is it's the balance between I need to work on it, right? Like this is the new thing I'm learning. This is what I'm trying to work on. This is what I'm trying to input, being open to rejection from possible potential clients, right? Or somebody who maybe didn't like it, which is rare. But then you're taking care of this huge list of people who do like it. That's not necessarily always positive input. That's neutral in you serving your business, right? And so for me, what I found in this season, and let me know if it's lining up with what you're saying, is again not the need for validation, because it's important to come from a place of validation, right?
Mhm.
But psychologically, when we talk about this emotional and mental wellness of the entrepreneur or business leader, it's how much positive
Mm.
feedback am I getting? How much positive pouring am I getting? Because the other
Mm.
stuff is withdrawals. So if it's withdrawal, 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 it's not that I need you to tell me I'm doing so good, but do you like the packaging? Okay, the packaging works for you. Okay, okay, so good. So we know that we're getting, it's like the balance of it.
What is
And
that called? What kind of feedback is that called?
re- I would say positive feedback. Do you think, is
Positive
there,
feedback, but it's something specific.
it's
When
like
you said,
positive reinforcement.
uh huh,
Is it
I think, what you were going to say, Nevadia?
I said constructive criticism?
constructive criticism is
No,
constructive.
it's not, but it's not even criticism. It's not even about an
Well, constructive
opportunity.
feedback
Okay.
because
Cause
it's
I
constructive
still,
because people can be like this
mm,
cute. But
but
okay,
mm,
but you saying the packaging, if you giving me feedback, do you like the packaging?
yeah.
That's specific and that is like specific feedback to make you do something different or keep it as it is.
So this is what I would say, right?
Mm-hmm.
You and I are great at watching ourselves and our negative reactions, right? And looking at something and being open to feedback and trying to take the positive from it,
Okay.
right? So when I hear and this is social wellness, right? When I hear constructive feedback, it still might be something somebody could take negatively,
Mm,
Okay.
but it's a reframing of it so that it doesn't have a negative connotation, but it still might not be something that you want to hear, but this is building you. Does positive reinforcement build you? Yes, it
Yes.
does. But I don't think, in my mind right now, the operational definition I work from, I don't think it's the same thing.
Okay.
What I found in the team, and was part of the feedback for the team that I decided to walk away from, because it is an absolute need for me. And I think that when we talk about Black women in leadership and why I wanted to go deeper into it, I think it's an absolute need, is the
Mm-hmm.
positive pouring, not um uh trying to sugarcoat stuff or just give people fake flowers. But hey, okay, you do great with your attendance, you do amazing with having your lessons planned on time, you do amazing with helping your students feel like they have a community in your class. How you do that every year at a brand new school is beyond, you do a great job, right? Pouring in that way is really important so that this person can be open to, um, okay, for this subject, this is where you have the opportunity to do XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could take that. You know what I mean? But I feel like as an entrepreneur, and a lot of times as women, we are so used to the negative comments from outside, and then we have the
Mm-hmm.
internal dialogue that we can put on a healthy scale, wherever, depending on where we land. But it's important to get those positive comments so you can know what your strength is and know what not to focus on when you're looking at your opportunity, so you don't get overwhelmed by how much you're trying to work on at one time.
And I 100% agree with that. And I'm going to speak to that too, because I know that being a teacher, we love words of affirmation. I've gathered that from being around other teachers that
Yeah.
that might be something that we have in common.
Yeah.
Looking for or for something, I guess, because giving so much, you might want something back in return, which is human nature, right?
Mhm.
But one of the things that I really needed, and I realized that because I have my reflective moments where I'm talking to myself, which I encourage everybody to do. Have those reflective moments where you're processing with yourself, because that's a great way of having a social relationship with yourself. Have that social relationship where you can be honest and be real with yourself.
Yes.
And one of the things that I had to be real with myself is like, what is it that you're feeling, man? What is the issue? What is the issue, Courtney? And the issue was I really wanted somebody to tell me that I was a good teacher. That is
Mhm.
really what I wanted somebody to tell me. And it was like, nobody,
Mhm.
you get along with your kids so well. You your kids are something else. It was a lot of things around it. And hey, I could just pump myself up and be like, I am a good teacher from the feedback, but it was nothing that nobody would actually say you're a good teacher. And so those are the things that people needs that people like me or something, they need to hear those things every once in a while to
Yeah.
kind of keep pushing them into the positive direction of moving forward to keep going. And so that's why we have to be very careful with the words that we choose, as Shannon said,
Mhm.
when we're talking to people, because we do have the power to speak life and death over
Mhm.
people. And you don't want somebody like me to be like, you know what, nobody ever told me I'm a good teacher, so I'm just gonna quit the profession and go
Mhm.
sit down. I'm not that dramatic on a Tuesday. But in general, I just want to keep on encouraging people, because at the professional development, I saw that these are the people that's going to make tomorrow. You don't know what your lipstick business is going to do and take off, and who is going to inspire, and what it's going to do for the next person, or what type of eczema or acne or anything that's going to cure. But if I never tell you that, how would you know? And I'm not saying, and I know God is going to validate you and qualify you, but also He gives us these tidbits to use our words to encourage people, because one day you might not, God might not really, you might not be hearing God that day for whatever reason, whatever noise you have going on in your life, but maybe you will hear it audibly from me. Maybe you will hear it audibly from Shannon. That's a part of being God's hands and feet on earth. Just saying.
Yes.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah. And Navadia, do you feel like I was in line with what I was saying in reference to like the positive pouring?
I love I honestly just love the way that you worded it. You were like, "Oh no, this is not constructive criticism. We're not going to even make it anything negative. We're going to flip the switch and just turn it to something all the way positive." So I love how you kind of got us in check a little bit, and you was like, we're going to turn this into a positive thing because
Mhm.
it's something that is going to positively impact us and allow us to improve.
Yeah.
So I like
And thank you. And it's because we as people who work the way that we work, you know what I mean? Like what you just said, I did this, I did that, and then I went up and closed it and then kept going. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
um, we do a really good job at using anything to our benefit. And so sometimes we can say that we're okay. I'm okay without, again, the positive, because I just had to check myself on it, right? Like feeling like, am I looking for validation by asking for this? But no, it's just balanced feedback, and a lot of times because, and I was just talking to a future guest about this, the expectation that we can continue to take on more and more, right?
Mm.
More and more and more. And so when feedback is given to us, is it just, hey, you did a great job, XYZ?
Ooh, that drives me insane.
Or is it, hey, this is what I need you to do next, and this is what you could have done better on? Like, wait a minute, like we're never going to talk about what happened, the fact that I was a great teacher, right? So two sets of flowers, right? Navadia, I missed putting yours in earlier, so let's do yours first since you're our expert guest. And another way, and I think I've told you this before, I think we talked about it in the coffee and chat, that you inspired me when we first met was because you were talking about taking shea butter off of your product list, right? And so when we first met, we could have been competing brands. I said, okay,
Yeah,
there's another shea butter company. Okay, let's see what this company's talking about. Okay, she got lip gloss. She has keychains. She has little defense things. She has oils, but they're different. Like they are. And I saw how our offerings were similar and could separate, right? And
yeah,
then, like I told Cole when we met, you offered your brother to help, and I said, "Oh yeah, she's the type of person that I love to collaborate with."
Mhm.
And I'm so glad that we did. And our conversation with you telling me that you took the shea butter, like that literally changed my life. I
yeah,
was like, I'm so, just like we're talking about, I'm so used to dealing with difficulty. I didn't think about changing the situation. I was just thugging it through and said, "This is what I'm doing. I'm not going to change it," and didn't think about how I could adapt it to the season and
mhm,
make it easier if I wanted to.
yeah.
Mhm.
I would say even for me, like our first interaction, like was similar, but you kind of made me be like, you know what? No, like they should already know the shea butter melts in the summer.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think when I initially met you and I saw your table, I was like, oh, like her packaging is beautiful. Like I love it.
Thank you.
I think I never have been that type of person that just is like, oh, this is just competition. No,
Yeah,
no,
no.
regardless of what you're selling or if we're selling the same stuff, I always want to get to know everybody in the room. I'm not just going to disregard somebody because we're in similar factors. So,
Mhm.
I saw that you needed some help, and I was just like, shoot, Cameron, go out there and help her.
Yeah,
Um, because
yeah,
that's the type of person that I am. Like, I'm not gonna just disregard somebody, and I just think that it's just important to have good people around to be able to help and encourage people regardless of what we're doing, because it's when you I just feel like it's just so much harder to succeed and try to win when you're constantly in competition with somebody.
yeah,
It's just That's just my personal opinion.
yeah,
I agree with that.
yeah.
There's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of, and you wouldn't think that it's. I didn't. I'm not gonna say you wouldn't. I didn't think. I think I was just naive. I didn't
That was
know about how competitive people were, and how you have how you have to be mindful of the energy and the circle of people that you keep around you.
yeah,
Like, I'm very much so, I talk to a lot of people, talk to everybody, but I don't always vet out people uh well. If they don't give me a first impression negative vibe, I don't vet people out that well all the time.
mhm,
So you don't always know who has your best interest at heart. And I know that in time things are going to be revealed to you, but those nuggets are important. Somebody being supportive, somebody's complimenting you on your packaging, somebody that gets people to help you
yeah,
and has a good spirit about them and stuff like that. That stuff is important. But I do want to challenge women to do better with that. Do better with that. These are beautiful opportunities to build community and continue to make the black dollar grow. If that's an important deal, if that's an important thing to you, we have to do that by supporting each other and building each other up.
definitely.
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah. And Cole, so your flowers as a teacher, we had our conference after we published volume 2, right? And I was super excited that Farrell's sister was able to come to one session and one session only, and it was yours on social wellness. And I said, okay, perfect. If there is anybody that I would love her to listen to, even though, of course, I want her to get connected to all the ladies, I was super happy that it was your session about trusting God and basics and looking at your capacity and what you could do and being intentional on your social wellness as she finishes college, because I trust you as a teacher. I love how you speak. I love your chapters, and I know they have helped so many people on the Women Connected in Wisdom journey. And I thought that was beautiful for me as a host, knowing that she was able to be poured into by you. If there was, again, one session, it was an honor to support you ladies in that way.
Thank you. Thank you. Your flowers?
Yeah, sure.
Shannon, I mean, you held it down last year. I mean, hey, you were project manager,
Yeah.
you were editor in chief, you
Mhm,
were a publisher, you
mhm.
were a financial director, you were
Yeah.
it all. You was calling us and trying to support all of the authors, and you were doing this while maintaining your own life and maintaining your own grief and
Yeah.
just maintaining your different relationships and how that grew or changed with other people, maintaining your relationship in your relationship,
Mhm.
and maintaining your relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
And I just want to give you your flowers
Thank
for
you.
completing all of that and still being here today to smile and be positive to other women and pour into other women.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Thank you so much for all of us.
Yes.
Yes, yes, women like you help, pour in. I'm okay, because again, she sent her brother, a little bit of energy, boop, 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 boop. You know what I mean? That's what happens when
Yeah.
I get around you ladies. So super excited to be in community, and it's what I think about when I'm everywhere else. So I can't wait to see what God has for us, you know?
Hmm.
So let's jump into what we're doing this week. Every week we talk about wisdom in action, right? Because we can know all these things. These things are beautiful. They sound great, right? We write books, got degrees, but what do you do with what you know? Right? So, social wellness, what are you doing for yourself this week? And I can go first if you want me to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Social wellness. We're talking about gloss, glam, and social wellness. I am. I'm resetting. That's what I'm gonna say. Hashtag resetting. And that's changing the logistics, you know. Again, just left the position. So now getting ready to work on our audiobook for volume 2 and getting ready to celebrate 4 years for Shalo Glow. What does that mean for the retail space, right? Where are we going after June? So some celebration, some transition. And again, like I talk about in volume 2, before I do all this work, first is the plan, you know. So after the podcast, we're going to work on some social media and the plan and reset the way that I step through the logistics and see how things go.
I love that.
Hmm. Thank you. What about you, ladies? Who wants to go next?
I can go. I would say
Okay.
me, personally, I'm just being reminded this week. I love just the saying everything wisdom in action, just being reminded that sometimes we can gain wisdom, but we have to practice that wisdom too. It's not like just something that we just wake up and it's just like, okay, I got it. But no, it's just a continuation of practicing and being able to maintain that sense of balance
Yeah.
within the knowledge that we've already gained and being able to apply it to our life, because the same way that we got it, we can forget it.
Yeah.
um I would say for me, I'm just preparing for this new season of my business. I have so much in store.
Hmm.
Within the next couple of months, I want to be able to start creating a space for not just women, but just entrepreneurs in general. And just being able to motivate, inspire, and us, we'll be able to have like those tough conversations, but also have those fun conversations about what it's like being an entrepreneur and how we can grow in tough seasons and how we can continue to use the wisdom that we have to pivot. So I think that is what I am on right now.
I love it.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, and you're definitely qualified, making it to 5 years. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yes.
Thank
Yes. What about you, Cole?
One of my friends told me today, he said, I'm not used to you not putting me first. And so, what I'm going to do is make sure he remembers that by me still completely not putting him first this week and continuing to do what I have to do for this summer, finish these professional developments, and making sure that I work on my goals this summer because, again, I have to put myself first and remember that that is perfectly okay.
Yes. So I hear a few hashtags. I'm not going to dictate what yours is, right? So what is your hashtag wisdom in action?
Hashtag wisdom in action, putting
What is
self first.
you. Yeah,
okay?
I like it for you.
Mhm.
Hashtag put me first. I
Put
like
me
Mhm.
first.
that.
Put me first. It's important. And no, it's not selfish. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about sustainability. So to really make it sustainable, to be able to keep going, like I call it, and this is what I wanted to tell you too, Nevadia. I call them Super Bowls. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's a Super Bowl season. Tomorrow is game day. You got 40,000 orders. It's time to be 10 toes down. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And next week we won't be doing anything, you know, and that's what we do, and then we get back to practice and training and the schedule after that, you know. Um, so I love this conversation. We could definitely keep talking. Is there anything that you ladies would like to add for the audience before we go into how they can find you and stay connected after the episode?
I would actually like to say, um, pay attention to your mental energy.
Hmm.
That's really important. I think that a lot of times, if we think a lot and we continuously keep everything in our working memory and continue to work from that space, that we definitely won't have anything to pour out for self or for others. So be careful about mental energy and be sure that you brain dump when it's necessary.
Love it. What about you, Nevadia?
I absolutely love what Coach Co said.
Hmm.
I agree with that. I'll just say just fixing your thoughts, like being able to block out all the negativity. And just anytime you get caught in a negative thought this week, replace it with something positive. replace it with, instead of like, oh, how am I gonna make this happen? No, I got this. God's got me. So I
Mhm.
think it's just about being mindful of what type of mental thoughts that we're bringing into our brain this
Mhm.
weekend, and being able to shut those negative thoughts down when they start, and
Mhm.
replace them with positive energy. So I love what Coach said. She
Agree.
her thing.
Yes.
I love it. And I know I said this was the last one. I have a question for you ladies before we leave too. I want to talk about what Coach Cole brought up about the due diligence, right? But first, I'm going to give my point on this list too. We're talking about the mental energy and the brain dump, right? Nevadia, you said fixing your thoughts and replacing it with something positive. I really love that, especially for our listeners who might ruminate on things, right, or go back to negative things or negative experiences. Like that has really helped me, I can say. What I will also say is give it to the person whose it is. If this is not your way to carry, sometimes maybe we do feel a certain type of way about something, and that's for you to give that person feedback. Now that's the constructive feedback we can give. And if it's still weighing on you, then that shows the opportunity to have a conversation, and that transparent and consistent communication with my team, with whoever it needs to be had with, helps keep my heart light, keeps um, my consciousness light, and lets me know that I've done everything I need to with the people I'm related to give them an opportunity to meet me where I am at with what I need in the season. And then if not, we can look at what that means. You know what I mean? But that's been really good too for me to be able to balance my mental energy and help fix my thoughts instead of them continuously pulling. Maybe there's something I need to get rid of,
Love
So
that. Love
Right.
that.
yeah,
Love.
thank you. So
Ooh.
what about your due diligence? Like we talked about things to pay attention to before we bring somebody closer into our circle. Is there anything that you ladies do specifically that we could help give actionable steps to?
Oof. Can I be transparent?
Yeah,
I would say that's just something that I'm still working on.
me
For
too.
me, I'm a huge empath, and I love to help people. So I'm a huge empath. So sometimes those red flags will be an opening for me to be like, oh, how can I help them out, or how can I do this?
Mm.
So I think that's just something that I'm personally still working on, and I'm just learning. I feel like every day we're learning a new lesson about how to just how to just keep people, know where to keep people at, and know how to handle people. So I think for me, I'm still learning, and I'm giving myself grace for this learning process, and I'm hoping that one day I'll get it.
Yeah.
I love
Yes.
that.
I
I
love that
agree.
answer.
I
Yeah.
do. I do because we are all still learning. I think that one of the things that I would say is to pay attention to people's habits. Your behavior will speak probably louder than your words.
Mm,
Behavior, your behavior habits. If you are a person that talks all over your mouth and you telling T, you might not even mean to tell T, but you telling T to me, this person, oh, don't say nothing because she told me not to say nothing. 9 out of 10, you telling them what I say too. So just watching those habits and different things, and it's not always because a person is terrible.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's just the idea that they just might talk too much. So just looking at those habits of people, and then like you said, knowing where to kind of put them in the sorting
Hmm.
system. It's not a person that I could probably have vulnerable conversations with about things that are going on in my life. So
Yeah.
she got to stay over here. We just gonna talk about good timing and housewives.
Right.
We gotta keep that over there. Then you might have people watch their actions. If they procrastinate on their business and goals and they never getting anything done, that's not gonna be the person that's gonna help you push your business. That's not gonna be the person that's gonna help you get to that. It might be a fun time to be on the phone, vent to each other. Girl, I don't feel like doing this. I ain't doing it. Y'all might have a good time laughing at what you're not gonna do, but you still need that friend need to be in that sort, and you need to have those friends that's going to be like, okay, girl, we getting up 4:30, we going, we showing up, we gonna be here, and you get up and show up with that person. So that was one of the things that my therapist, yes, I have a therapist. My
Love it.
therapist helped me understand that everybody does not have every aspect of you or have access to
Hmm.
every aspect of your life. So being
Hmm.
able to put them in those sorts has been very beneficial to my life.
I love it. And yeah, I would definitely say a therapist is amazing for social wellness, right? Because this can be a person that can be neutral. They don't have any type of weight in the fight of how you feel
Mhm.
about it, or how you are based off of this other relationship, and that affects their relationship, you know. And that's something I had to notice. Y'all, I missed two of my therapy sessions with sleep and just, it was, yeah, it was crazy, Coach Go. We got to catch up. But thankfully, everything's good. And things happen for a reason, so I noticed it instead of judged it, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and that's what I'll say as we wrap up. For me, what I've learned over the years is first step to getting into the circle, again, don't give jobs for people who don't apply. How did
Ooh.
yeah, how did they get the job? They didn't apply, but you gave it to them? How did Shannon, you got to stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? So we stopped doing that. So don't give the position to people who don't apply, right? And just because they apply doesn't mean they get the position, right? And so reminding myself to do the due diligence of certain questions if it fits where I'm trying to make it fit, right? And then even if they get the position, they have to keep the position. So maybe in a certain season, right, when it fit for the business, where it fit for Shannon's life operating systems, it fit. But if it doesn't fit and it's not gonna be updated with the new updated system, then we need to look at that position, you know, and keeping it open like that and the communication open has made it so that I can grow and step with the relationships as I grow and develop and evolve as a person. And made it easier to not be personal when it's certain decisions. Well, this person can't be here, clearly that was a season instead of a lifetime relationship, you know. I can
Mhm.
have more grace and feel better about it because I know that it might not be me, it might not be this person, it's just how we are in this season. And I'm feeling
Mhm.
like what God has for me is aligned differently. So I'm gonna move that way.
That trust and peace. It goes back to what Nevadia said. The faith,
Yep.
faith that God has you in His hands and He
Yeah.
means you well. Everything is working out for our benefit.
Yep. Yep.
Definitely.
So that's where I live with it. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me today. Can you tell everybody where to find you if they want to get some gloss? I know I need to go shop for some gloss. If they want to get co-mail, some Motivation Mondays, where should they go? And the
Let-
video, we'll let you go first.
Yeah,
As our guest, yes.
I
um,
want to know where to go. You know,
Yeah, yes.
where to live at.
okay. Well, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Glossed by Name. So it's GLOSSEDBYNAE, and that's on Instagram.
Yes.
And yep. And
Yes.
Awesome.
did I need to do my personal or?
Whatever you want, however you want them to find you. I know
Oh
you do
no,
an
I think.
amazing job at plugging everything.
Oh yeah. Well, that's it for
Beautiful.
me.
And Cole, what about for you? Where should they go?
They can find me on Instagram at Life Coach Co.
Love it. Love it. And again, y'all, these are ladies in my circle that I have used to, you know, maintain my wellness. We talk about that. Nevadia talked about it earlier. So thank you so much, Nevadia. Ko and I are going to close the show out. Thank you for your time, for
No
your
problem.
bravery and starting your business. I'm super proud of you, super, super proud of you, and humbled to be part of your community. And I look forward to us staying connected.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me and having me on today. I appreciate you. And you don't even
Yes,
know how much I needed this today. So I
yes.
appreciate you for
I
everything.
got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Talk to
Nice
you
to meet
soon.
you.
All right.
So good, Cole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And shout out to Christine for always having her replacement, her guest co-host lined up. She does such a good job at that.
Yes.
I had such a good job with Joe, a good time with Joe last week, with
Shout
you
out
this
to
week.
Joe.
Yes, I'm like my two ladies showing up and supporting me, supporting Christine like you ladies do all the time. I love how we just get to naturally show the world what it looks like.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, and this is what you did for volume 2. I was stressed about the second chapter, going through the logistics and everything like we talked about, and you said, "I got another chapter." I said, "Lord, didn't I just ask for this? How does
Yes.
Cole, as a teacher, have time for a second chapter?" I was so great am so grateful for you, right? So, thank you for your social support.
Thank you for just, you know, believing in me to be able to do it. That was a big deal for me. Believing in me to be able to do it.
Yeah. Yep, and the audiobook's about to come out. Y'all, so that's
Ooh.
what we're gonna wrap up on. Cole was not a narrator in volume 1, but that's okay. She was included, okay?
Yes.
Volume 2, you get to hear her voice with her story. I'm super excited. So stay connected. Get connected with Women Connected in Wisdom on social media. Join us in our LinkedIn community. Get connected with Nevadia and Gloss by Nay, Coach Co. Again, her co-mail, her Monday motivation. I personally use to motivate my week and appreciate it. So get plugged in and get connected to the resources that you need. We'll see you live at 5 next week for episode 157. In the
Ooh.
meantime, yes, let me pull it up. Where's our banner at? I saw it earlier. Here we go.
The good
Boom.
stuff.
Be
Ooh.
well, be wise, be whole. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.